right, everyone, welcome. I am your host, one half of your hosting team, Randy.
And I'm Anita.
And thank you for joining us. This is Love and Legacy, brought to you by United in Promise. And today, this afternoon, this evening, we're going to talk about choosing friends as a Christian. I don't think we really think about how we select our friends.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of things that, our environment.
It's an afterthought.
Right. Who we grew up with.
Right.
Our cousin Nene. We really don't give it much consideration.
Yeah.
So today we're going to dive in. Mm-hmm. I noticed on our last episode, we spoke candidly about scriptures, but we didn't quote any.
Okay.
So I think our audience noticed that they had to be infused in there. But this time we have, our Bible's a bit clunky, especially when you're doing a show.
Technology at hand.
Yes, we have our technology, we have our phone. So we're going to quote our scriptures. But today we're going to dive into it. What's your thoughts on, choosing friends, whatever relationship it may be in, at work, outside of work, those we call family or close family.
Friends, right, childhood friends.
What's your thoughts on choosing friends as a Christian?
Obviously, growing up is just, you have the people that you grew up with and all of that stuff. But as things begin to change, you begin to see things from a different perspective or different light. I believe, I said that this year, that I'm going to be more intentional about my relationships. Every relationship, whether it be my friends, family, co-workers, whatever it may be, intentionality plays a big key, because it's not everybody that understands the word friend. Mm-hmm. I feel like we often, intertwine the word friend and maybe they're an acquaintance. Mm-hmm. We don't know. It's so easy to say friend, but friend is an expensive thing. Mm-hmm. It's an expensive commodity to be a friend. Being a friend is not cheap. Mm-hmm. So I feel like this year, especially, I was just like, I need to be more intentional, because I kind of felt like I was putting way more of me into certain relationships and they weren't giving it back. But it's like I said, a friend, the Bible even says it can be more than a brother. A friend can be closer than a brother. Mm-hmm. And so that's expensive. It's not just anybody you can be friends with.
Yes.
And we say that we use the term too loosely for certain people who should be considered or categorized as acquaintances. My opinion.
Very good. Very good. No, I agree. So when it comes to choosing friends, there are some Bible verses that guide us. Uh-huh. I got a few that I'm going to pull up. Get your own. But I got mine. One that's really stands out for me. 1 Corinthians 15:33, which is, do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character.
Yes.
And that one's really meaningful for me, because a lot of times growing up, we kind of are led to believe that it's okay that this friend is this way.
Right.
Right? And, God bless our parents. We love you.
We love you.
Because they warned us a lot about our friends, right? And the behaviors or the attitudes that they saw. Right. That, now, mind you, they weren't always 100% right.
Yeah.
Because even the friends, that came in and said, good evening, madame and senor. They were the ones that were taking $5 out of their own parents' purse to go to the arcade. So you weren't 100% right, parents. But you saw a lot of things that we weren't able to see because we were so engulfed in that relationship. So one guiding principle, this verse means a lot to me. What's one for you? What's a verse that...
That's a very good one, because it's true. Like, I think we've talked about this before. Your environment.
Yes.
Adapting to it. It's like, what you see, you end up, if you're not strong enough, you're going to end up picking up those bad traits, 100%. Right? So that's a very important one. I like Proverbs 17, verse 17. This is from the Message version. It says, friends love through all kinds of weather, and families stick together in all kinds of trouble. So like I said before, friends end up, it's not a term to be used loosely, because a true friend becomes family. So they can weather any storm with you. Whatever you're going through, any situation, circumstance, they're there. They're standing in with you. And so when you have friends that are quick to disappear when the storm comes, you have to question, are they your friend? So I think that's a
good one. That's a good one. And I love that you touched on what we talk about. And we talk about that a lot. Your environment.
Yes.
It is huge.
Big.
Because it really does determine a lot of your behaviors and your character.
It does.
And I'll use an example. If you live in a neighborhood that might not be the best or might be a bit violent, you're not walking through that neighborhood confidently skipping down the street. Listen, if you hear from across the street, you're not going to stop it. You are not walking lightly with eating your nuggets, talking about
it depends.
What?
It depends.
Listen, the fact of the matter is that you are going to be aware and conscious of the fact that neighborhood is dangerous. So you're going to move accordingly. So you're not going to move as freely. If you have kids in that neighborhood, you're going to be very worried about who they're out with, if they're playing and things like that. So it's huge. It's huge. Another one that, and this is more just about environment, about worldly, right? Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Yes.
When we talked about friendships and when we talked about how we kind of outgrew them, we gained more knowledge. As we applied that knowledge, it became wisdom. So becoming more engulfed in our faith. And what it meant to be Christ-like. We were able to start removing ourselves from those friendships, from those relationships that weren't trying to live or trying to be Christ-like. Now, this doesn't mean that person had to be perfect. A lot of times, and you keyboard warriors are already in the comments talking about, not everyone's perfect. And I hear, we're not talking about being perfect. God knows everyone's heart. Right? And even when I notice when somebody makes a mistake or they do something that's, a bit odd or, catches us off guard, when you speak to them about it, it's always about their intention. Everybody says, well, my intention was, and it's like, I can't see your intentions. I can just see the actions that followed it. So this is why it's not important that everybody's perfect. But if a friend was to hurt you, to offend you, whatever it may be, in that moment, I think, and you could tell me if I'm wrong, but I think it would speak volumes if they were able to say, you know what? I'm sorry that I hurt you. Right? Even if that wasn't my intention, I still, caused this, experience for you that I would never want to have happened.
But how many friends or people are self-aware or that self-aware?
Well, we were talking about it before we started rolling. The number is small.
Very.
And it's getting smaller. Because everybody has a platform. Social media is giving everybody a platform to say things that a lot of times really don't matter. And I do want to say this is why Love and Legacy and United in Promise exists, is because we feel that there needs to be more platforms that allow us as Christians to speak candidly.
I agree. I agree.
So what's your verse that kind of guides your path for choosing friends as a Christian?
I like this one. Proverbs 18:24. A man who has friends must himself be friendly.
Okay, so what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
We just said it. What are your intentions?
Yes.
So if you don't have that intention of, I'm holding down my friend, I'm going to love them, I'm going to stick by them, even when it's ugly, I'm going to tell them like it is, to their face. When it's time to stand by them, I'm going to stand by them. If you don't have that intention, if you're not friendly, if you're not, how can you have a friend? How can you be a friend to somebody else? That's what I'm saying. I do believe that being a friend the term friend is used loosely. It's for lack of a better word, it's used cheaply. but it's an expensive thing.
Very,
because
very
not
good point.
everybody can be a friend.
Sure. It's
Not
true.
everybody can be a friend, like you were saying. Like, how can, like, if you do something to me, I would want you to come and talk to me.
Yeah.
I don't want you to harbor it in. But then again, I'm guilty of that because I'm somebody that I'm not confrontational. So sometimes I can go ghost.
See, and you know what? As hosts, this is why we need the balance. Because me, I'll fight everybody. You know, your grandma is probably staring a little too hard at the screen, and I'm telling you, I'll fight her. But no, that's a very good point. I'm the opposite, where
Okay.
I want to just address it and
Right.
get past it.
Right.
But let's touch on that. When it comes to kind of going ghost, what has been your life experience that has led you to that response?
And it's funny because I was actually reflecting on that the other day with my sister. I'm like, funny enough, when I was younger, I felt like I can go to you and be like, hey, I heard this, what's up? Like, I thought you were like, let's talk about it. Or I remember the situation happened and one of my friends came and said, she said this about you. And then right away I turned around, I'm like, why didn't you come to me?
Yeah.
But now I think it's because of some experiences I've had. When you're confrontational, you're not loud, but like you're a problem.
No, you are. You're loud and you're a problem. We're not going to sugarcoat it.
You're a problem.
Yes.
You're an issue. You're disrespectful. But I feel that approach or that perspective has, I guess you can say has quieted me. So I don't want to be known as the problem child. I don't want to be known as every time she has an issue.
Yeah.
So now I've kept it to myself. And so when you see me distancing myself, even though it's not intentional, right? Like I'm not doing it on purpose right away. It's just something that I just start to distance myself. So if you're a true friend,
Yes.
you will see that, hold up, this girl calls me every day.
Why are you pulling back?
Why is she pulling back? What's
Very
going
good.
on?
That's very
So-
true. That's very true. I unfortunately,
But that's a good trait to have, though.
you know, it depends. And let me say this. I had to be confrontational. See,
Right.
I can't, you know, born in Ghana, coming here very young, going to school. At the time I was going to school, wasn't a lot of Africans.
Okay.
So they decided to call me Africa.
African. Oh,
No,
really?
they called me Africa.
Oh.
And mind you, this was a Catholic school. So I learned how to fight with the rosary, right? Like I put it around my fist. So for me, I had to learn to be confrontational
Confrontational.
because then it leads to bullying.
Right.
So for me, growing up, I had to learn the reverse of that, which was how to have tact, how to be able to express myself
Right.
without being confrontational, without being aggressive,
Right.
but also being very diplomatic and explaining how I feel. Right?
Okay.
And really removing the emotion
Out of it.
out of the situation
Okay.
and saying, hey, this is just what it is.
Right.
Or this is a boundary that I feel you've crossed.
Right.
And more importantly, asking the person, what was your intention? We don't ask that enough.
We don't ask that,
Shout
no.
out to my coach, Helena. Amazing
Helena.
woman. I have some really amazing people around me. And she said to me, you can, and I thought it was disrespectful when she said it, but you can ask anybody, what do they want from this conversation? That sentence has changed my life. Because I thought, man, if you're asking people, what do you, like, they're
Yeah.
like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do I want?
What do you mean?
Well, I realized that in our communication, a lot of us don't communicate effectively.
We don't.
So we come with the whole story.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you want from this
Yeah.
conversation?
We
it
went
could
in
be where,
circles.
you know, you want to address an issue. Maybe you want to be heard. Maybe you want to vent.
Right.
Like, it changes the whole dynamic between you and someone.
It's true.
When now, not only have you asked and you've gained clarity, now you also have the choice of whether or not you can give it to them in that moment.
Right.
Maybe you want to vent. Maybe I'm not in a space where I can really take that in.
Right.
So it's like, you know what? I understand that this is bothering you. Let's park it. And you know what? Let's talk about it maybe this afternoon.
Okay.
Right? And that way I can get in a space where now I can be fully present
Right.
to this person, to this friend.
I like that.
And so I think that should be in all curriculums in school.
honestly.
How to be a friend, because we're learning a lot of silly things and things that we even picked up from our parents. We love you guys, please. Don't, Mom, I don't need your call after this, but we love you guys. But there's things that we have learned that are unhealthy,
Right.
that we need to confront and change.
And unlearn, honestly,
Yes.
to relearn. So that's a good one. I like that.
I got one that's really important for me.
Okay.
And you know what? It's one that I keep in my heart because being a confrontational person, birds of a feather flock together. So
Okay.
I've been friends with people that are very confrontational.
Okay.
But it's to an extreme. So
Okay.
for me, Proverbs 22,
Okay.
24, and 25. Do not make friends with a hot-tempered person, or you may learn their ways. I've had some friends. Listen, they got your order wrong. Cool. Like, they can make it again. Why are you fighting the cashier that's 16 and just wants to finish her shift in an hour and a
I'm
half?
telling
Like, this
you.
doesn't make sense. So being around people like that, I realized I became like that.
Okay.
And so now I'm the one that's, what do you mean you forgot the sweet and sour sauce?
Right.
Mind you, half of that is I'm trying to get a free meal. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Anytime I can get a free meal, I'm happy. But the point is that I started to become like them.
Like them.
But now, at this point in time in my life, I will say that I'm surrounded by some pretty amazing people
Amazing.
that keep me very grounded. But this verse
Yeah.
really reminds me that you become your environment.
All the time.
What about you?
All the time. Okay. I have Ecclesiastes, or however you want to
See,
pronounce
you're not
it.
gonna make us feel bad because we said it wrong.
We said it
okay?
right? We said it right?
We said it. You know what we're talking about. Ecclesiastes. Whatever we said, you're gonna go figure it out. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna put it at the bottom again. Anyway, you'll be all right. Go ahead.
Chapter 4, verse 9 to 10, it says, 2 people are better off than one, for they can help each other succeed. If one person falls, the other can reach out and help. But someone who falls alone is in real trouble.
I love that. That's powerful.
We need friends.
We need friends.
We need friends. We need people around us that will help us out of trouble. It's not good to be alone. Nobody's a lone island. Everybody needs somebody. That's why you have a family. That's why, you know what I mean? So this scripture itself tells you that. The Bible's even telling you that 2 people are better than one.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That touches me. And you know why? For men, we like the lone wolf.
Why?
It's and Chris was talking about it a bit before the show. Shout out to Chris. I don't give him enough credit, but Chris makes us look amazing. He's always supporting us. But Chris was talking about some of the primal instincts
Right.
that we kind of carry
Okay.
from back then to now.
Right.
And being the lone wolf, in the pride of lions, there's only one male.
Right.
Right? So I think it's a bit of like, this is all for me, or I'll figure this out, or it's kind of that hyper independence, which doesn't make sense. Because I tell you one thing, like, we're taking up things that our parents and forefathers and foremothers, they didn't do. Like, my mom was on the phone 24/7, and when one call ended, there was another 3 coming in. And so it created that, you understand, that created that dynamic where we understood what family was. Right? Everybody was about being close.
Right.
Yes, aunties and uncles are probably talking a little bit of doo-doo. Why aren't you like your cousin John? First of all,
Right.
John steals. All right? If you don't know, John steals. So, but the fact is, we're not an island. And for
Right.
men, we have to understand that. I will never say that an ounce of my success is mine alone.
Right.
First of all, God at the forefront.
Amen.
Always. Second of all, I have amazing people around me. Even as we're sitting here, you, Chris, the team, like, we have amazing people.
Right.
And we're going to get that makeup crew, I promise you. Once the budget opens up, right now we can barely get the bottles of water, but I promise you, once we get past the bottles of water, the guys, we're going to be rolling in dough.
We're gonna get there.
We're gonna
get there.
So I like that a lot.
I like that. But as you were saying that, I thought of one show. It's a series I watched on Netflix. It's called To Kill a Monkey.
I'm glad you looked in my eyes and said it. Because a lot of thoughts came in my mind when I heard that title. All right, so I first of all, what genre is it? Is it a show?
It's a show. It's
And
a
it's on
series.
Netflix. First of all, we're not promoting you Netflix. You could pay us. Right now, we only got water. We're not promoting you. So we're just saying this for this. So the show on Netflix. And what is the genre?
It's Nollywood.
Nollywood. That's African.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell people. I want you to listen. I don't watch African movies because I've lived an African life. I don't need to watch the drama. I've lived it.
But
the family.
It's so good.
And tell me about it because I am intrigued. What is it about the show and what did you get from
Anybody
that?
who's watched it, you remember Brotherly. And there was just this, I think, was he a drug dealer?
What did I say?
Forget the
I told
job
you, right?
description.
Okay.
Forget the job. But he just wanted to help his friend so much. Like, he was anything to help him. But it was a time I think the friend had his back. Something happened, and he pretty much stood in the gap for him. And after that, there was this crazy loyalty to this person. And then it reminds me of Jonathan and David. That was, Jonathan sold out his dad. He's like, you need to run. My dad's after you. Brotherly.
Yes.
You need friends. You can't
true.
do it
That's
alone.
deep. That's deep.
You can't do it alone.
I think the concern, and I'm gonna echo the thoughts of those that are gonna say this. The friendships of those individuals that have stabbed them in the back, have done them wrong.
Granted.
So 100% I agree.
Right.
But that was that friend and that experience.
Right.
Now I know the response. Oh, all of my life has had that experience. Well, first of all, you're horrible at choosing friends. We're gonna tell you
First of all.
that's why we're here helping you. Right?
One.
Second of all, you really have to question intentionality with anybody.
With anybody.
Right? There are certain I talk a lot about seeds. There's certain seeds along the way that people plant.
Right.
And we have to pay attention to those.
Right.
We talk about that friend that is never really happy for you.
Right.
That
Right.
friend that is, you got something exciting. They come in like, hey girl, I just got this new car and it's a BMW. Oh girl, have you seen the maintenance on that? First of all, you're
I didn't
unemployed.
ask you.
No. I care about I asked you. You're unemployed. Stop talking to me this way, okay? All right? I at least want to enjoy some of my money.
I'm telling you.
Second of all, that's still a seed, right? Because as a friend, is that really? I can understand even if you're concerned, but that's your friend's moment. They're happy about it,
Right.
And I don't think enough people read the room and read those moments because they always want to come with the opposite.
But sometimes it's not even about reading the room. It's what are your intentions for me?
100% intentionality.
Right. Were you ever really my friend? We go back to it. Most people are not friends. They're acquaintances, or they just we grew up together, we're childhood friends, so it seems right. But as we get older, do we carry the same values?
Yes.
Like you said, are we still intentional about each other, one another? Not even about because 20 years. I have friends that I've been friends with for 20 plus years. And I can tell you that we don't talk every day. Everybody's grown now, we have families. But when we do talk, it's like we didn't miss a beat.
I love it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's some people just kind of like, oh, you're still working there? Oh, you're...
Listen, why is that you're concerned? But I love that you said that. You don't talk to each other every day. And that's how a lot of men are. I have some amazing friends. We don't even talk every month. There'll be months that go by. Sometimes there's friends I know that we haven't spoken for a year.
Wow.
But when we see each other,
right.
it's those two friends from back in the day that were running around enjoying life. So it's all about intentionality. And it could be that, and I know people are watching right now, and somebody's come at the forefront of your mind. Text them.
Yes.
Check in on them.
Yes.
That's the whole point of this.
Yes.
That makes you the type of friend that other people will say is a true friend.
Right.
Right? That little text, hey, how you doing? I just thought about you. Want to make sure everything's okay. When I get those texts, I don't care if the person's halfway across the world. I want to go and check in on them because you don't know what that means for me, right? So when I get those moments, I'm like, you know what? Let me check in on this person. It's important, but
It is.
you don't need to talk to them every day. You just need to be intentional,
Right.
however often you can be, because life gets busy,
Very busy.
right? And I'm gonna end up, my last verse
Okay.
is gonna be John 15:13-15.
Okay.
Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends.
Aww.
And you know what? For me, that sums up the love of Christ.
Right.
He didn't know me.
Right.
He didn't know you when he was on that cross. But he said, for everyone that will follow me, for everyone that will take up their cross, I will die for them. And that is huge. And
Big.
we're not saying create situations where you're taking bullets for your friends. Like, don't go push them and then jump in front of them. Don't do this.
Don't do that. Jesus already did it for all of us.
No, Jesus did it for all of us. The whole point is that you need to really be genuine
Right.
in your friendship. You need to understand that it's not perfection anyone's looking for. I'm not
Right.
looking for the perfect friend. I'm not looking for you to say the perfect thing at the perfect moment.
Yep.
I'm looking for you to be real.
Yes.
Like, if I'm being open and vulnerable, don't use that back against me.
Right.
Right? Like, I'm
Right.
letting you in on a part of me that I find important and intimate.
Right.
And if you just lend me your ear, you're being a friend.
Yes.
If you just tell me, even if you haven't experienced it, like, hey, that sounded really tough.
Right.
But you sound like such an amazing person that you've made it through it.
Through it.
Right? Like,
Exactly.
that's life for
Encouragement.
anybody.
Yep. Encourage
right?
one another.
But
Yep.
if we kind of shy away, and I think and I'm gonna say I believe this day and age, and I'm always gonna be the one that blames social media. This is why I felt I need to fight back with this show. But there are a lot of things that don't need to be said.
Right.
And everything we just said, none of it was about, avoiding people that are, being genuine.
Right.
There's the scripture, and I didn't list it as my favorite, but the one that speaks on carrying each other's burdens. Someone in the inside the chat can point out. Oh, sorry, Galatians 6:2.
6'2".
Carrying each other's burdens. That's what a friend does.
I'm telling you.
Now, if there's a friend that's bad with money, I wouldn't say keep lending them money. I wouldn't say that. But if you know of friends that are in genuine need, God loves a cheerful giver.
Forgiver,
Now,
right.
don't associate that with just your tithes and your offering.
I like that.
He loves a cheerful giver of your time.
Wow.
That is your most important commodity.
Right.
Your time is everything. So when you can give it to the things that matter to God, He will give you everything that you desire in your heart.
I love that. That's really good. Amazing.
What's your last?
No, I think
that's the one.
that summed it up for me. And I'm going to piggyback off of that. You just said that the burden. When you look at that story about that man, that the 4 friends took him, carried him, took him to Jesus for his healing. It wasn't even the faith of that man that healed him. It was the faith of the friends.
Huge.
That healed him. So once again, friendship, being a friend is expensive. You need to have the right people around you. When you're in that situation, who's going to stand in the gap and pray you through when you don't have any strength left?
Carry you to the finish line.
Yep.
Huge.
This man didn't have any strength, and his 4 friends carried him on their backs and took them to Jesus, because they knew that if we take him to Jesus, by all means, he'll get his healing.
Huge.
Who's willing to stand in the gap with you? Who's willing to hold your hand through? The Bible says that when Job prayed, he prayed for his friends. That's when their captivity turned, or his captivity turned. So you're thinking, oh, I don't want to, but you can pray for your friends, intercede for your friends, be there for your friends, and whatever you're going through, God will turn it around.
And you know what? To even just a little further, to get a little closer to Christ, Christ said, pray for your enemies. So if you can't even pray for your friends, like, forget it. I understand maybe you're in your feelings, you don't want to pray for your enemies.
Right.
But if you can't even pray for your
friends,
friends, you already missed the mark.
Yeah.
But even the story of that man that was carried to Christ, any one of those men that carried him could have had doubt in their heart. Could have said, man, I don't really know. I feel like you should just lay and be here forever, decrepit. But they still showed up as a friend.
Yes.
You understand? Like, I don't need to know whether or not, this opportunity for you is going to pan out. But if I'm praying for you, if I'm supporting you, I'm showing up for you.
Yes.
God will take care of the rest.
The rest, yep.
And maybe that prayer is the one, as you said, when Job prayed for his friends, everything turned around. Maybe that prayer is the one that turns everything around.
Right.
So I think we've given quite a bit of context in how to not only choose great friends, but also how to be a great friend.
Yes.
And not allow, all the things you hear out in the world, all these different types of cultures, work culture, none of that. Be Christ-like in your walk.
Yes.
Even if you can't, bear yourself to spend 5 minutes with that person because they're annoying, just be a friend.
Yeah.
Right? You never know what it's going to mean to them. And, I can attest to the fact that I've had some people in my life that have just showed up in a moment that I really needed them.
Yeah.
Were really amazing friends.
Right.
And God took care of the rest.
That's all you need.
God took care of the rest.
You just need to have somebody in your corner, an available vessel. And like you said, and God will take care of the rest.
100%.
So be intentional.
100%. All right, everyone. Well, I know my co-host did not bring her book again, but I'm going to put the link in the description so you guys can go and purchase it.
Go and get it, guys.
Please, please. She may forgot to bring it, but she's still going to sell it. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful
day.
evening.
Take care,
Bye.
guys.